Hey, good morning, guys. Michael from Bedell Property Management here live at the Echo Means Business Social Media Lounge. On an awesome Friday morning. We're back today with some more content, and want to start off this morning with my friend Bear here, who's just going to tell us more about what she's got going on and how she helps others in this industry. So, turn it over to you. Just go ahead and tell everybody who you are and what you got going on and what brings you to the expo today.
Thanks for inviting me, Mike. My name is Bear LeVangie, and I actually am the co-founder of the Women's Tree Climbing Workshop.
Awesome.
The Women's Tree Climbing Workshop is a workshop for women, taught by women, how to climb trees with an emphasis on arboriculture, but in a safe and empowering learning environment.
Perfect, perfect. All right, so yeah, it's more of a women-focused base instead of just, you think of all the burly guys in the industry. So you're like reaching out and helping people who maybe would be a little bit more intimidated to get into this?
Absolutely, or have never had the exposure to know where to go for a specific type of training.
That's awesome.
We do coach both men and women how to climb trees.
Oh, cool.
But we also, the workshops that we mainly focus on is for women, only, again, because there's no opportunities just for women-based programs.
Yeah, I gotta say, I never heard of one before, and I thought that's super, super cool because I've had female employees in my business, and they've kind of made comments to that like, not that there is like some like weird glass ceiling completely in our business, maybe like there is in corporate America, but there's just not like the outreach and the empowerment to kind of like encourage others to like get into it, follow your passion, maybe overcome some fears, or just gain a new experience in life, right?
Exactly.
So is this your first time at the show, or have you been for several years?
Yeah, thanks so much for that. This is my first time, and I have to say that I'm completely overwhelmed by the size of this event. I have never experienced something so large and so sort of incorporating in the green industry. So there's everything from tractors to everything you can think of is here, and it's marvelous.
I know. So in your local area, do they have like trade shows that you attend?
We do. We have a program called the TCIA Trade Show and Expo.
Yeah.
But it's really about a quarter of the size of this.
I know,
It's more specifically focused on arboriculture, and then the landscaping side of it second. So this is a different twist for me where it's more landscape and then a little bit of arboriculture.
Yeah. We've got something similar in our market, and it occupies like the biggest expo center, and they doubled the size of it, and they've even filled that up.
Amazing.
And you could fit like 15 of those into this. And yeah, last year was my first year, and when you said overwhelming, I'm like, yeah, that's everyone's. I remember I walked in and I was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Right.
Like,
and it keeps going and going.
Yeah, because on ours, in our home market, you can kind of walk the whole thing in like a few hours. It maybe takes a half day if you want to stop and chit chat with some friends or at some booths. This is like, I don't even think you could actually tackle the whole event unless you're like speed walking up and down the aisles like someone would do at Costco or something like that, right?
You're getting your steps in.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. You gotta. That was one of the tips somebody gave me. Was like, hey, you might need boots for outside, but you're gonna want some like walking shoes because you'll feel it by Friday if you don't. So, if you could just tell us more about the Women's Tree Climbing Workshop and what inspired you to get going on that journey of helping others.
Absolutely. In your lifetime, there's a period where people ask you the same question over and over and over.
Right.
And you realize that there's a niche or a market or a segment that's being missed. And so when someone asks you, how did you learn how to climb trees? How did you learn how to climb trees? I want to do that.
Yeah.
So we recognized there was a need, so we built it, and they started coming.
Perfect.
And so what it's really based on, it started as a one-day event in actually the Arnold Arboretum in Boston.
Oh, really?
Which is one of the oldest arboretums.
Yeah, that place is gorgeous.
It is. It's stunning.
Yeah. What a cool environment to do a workshop.
It was wonderful.
I would have, I got to stop there. I would have thought this would have been all outside. So you actually are able to do that. Like, here it's inside in the expo, which is unique. But you actually do this in like arboretums. And
we did it in an arboretum. For the very first time, it was a one-day event. And the feedback at the end of the event was more.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking more, right? Wow.
So then we went to a day 2, and then now we're at a day 3, and we've had people ask for a 5-day workshop. So we incorporate everything from basic 101 climbing. So if you've never touched a helmet before, you don't know what PPE is, you've never seen a rope before, you've never seen a harness, you've never seen people working in trees before, and basically developing those skill sets throughout the whole workshop.
That's great, because I feel like the tree care industry industry, just because obviously there's the safety hazards that maybe aren't in like
Absolutely.
little like hands and knees gardening work. I think there is a huge level of intimidation, kind of like there would be to like hop in a skid steer, or I'm going to build a retaining wall, like, you know, like that type of. That's awesome that you start really ground level with it. That way it takes the intimidation factor right out.
Absolutely.
And lets people like get comfortable in the feel of it, and then actually grow from there, right?
Absolutely. And it's funny because a lot of people, when they come, they're terrified. And by the time they're leaving, they're climbing 80-foot trees and swinging all around like they own the business.
Yeah.
So it's, again, they excel so quickly.
It's is maybe kind of like you see someone riding a bike, like, you know, they strike out, they fall, they stumble a little bit, but then they get it. And there they go. And now they're down the road. And like you said, all of a sudden you go from like, I don't want to go up in the tree to like climbing around like a little spider monkey in the tree, right?
And then when can I do it again?
Yeah. So that's maybe where like hey, we should do a couple more days of this, because it's like, well, now that I feel comfortable, I want to get back up in that tree,
Exactly.
right? Because then they got to go back to the real world, and that may or may not be in the industry, right?
Exactly. And the other thing too is that once you've been to a workshop, everyone that's been through our workshop has a basic safety principles. And so we build a network so you can reach out to any past participants and climb with them.
Oh, that's super cool. So it kind of encourages you to keep learning and working on the skill, kind of, but safely with like buddy system.
Exactly.
And that way you're not trying to do any of this stuff on your own, because it is inherently dangerous.
Absolutely.
Even at the professional, been doing it for decades
Absolutely.
level, right? That's why it's important to come to these type of events and continue to learn and keep up on best practices, because
Absolutely.
there's always new, better ways of doing things, new, better equipment that comes out, and that's awesome.
With an open mind, you continue to learn.
Yeah.
Once your mind is closed off, I know how to do that. You're done learning.
Yeah, and that's
where you
dangerous.
Get unsafe.
It's
you get
super
unsafe.
dangerous, especially in our industry. That's where I think that's where people get hurt.
Yes.
Get hurt.
They get complacent.
Yeah, and it's not only they get hurt and stifling their growth, like physically, you get hurt, right? That's terrible. So typically, this is a male-dominated industry. From our own Women in the Industry series that we have here on the Echo Means Business platform, we've heard of pushback against women looking to enter the space. I know I haven't experienced that all in my business. Have you?
Yes, I have.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of times it's about your confidence level. And like you had mentioned before, if you're intimidated, your confidence tends to be shunned a bit. And so when your confidence is built up and you apply for a job or what have you, and someone assumes if your name is not gender-based name, they assume that you're a male, they immediately say, yeah, come on in for an interview. And then you show up for an interview and they look around the corner and they say, oh,
where's Bear? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have a friend named Alex. Same thing. Apply for a job and then show up for the interview and look over the shoulder. Where's Alex?
Yeah, they're expecting Alex. Not like nice, good-looking Alex. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay.
So
That's terrible.
Again, it's about confidence, and it's about advocating for yourself as an employee. If it's something you really, really want, if you're passionate about, you need to step forward and just push a little bit more.
Yeah, that's it. And that's why, like at my company, I've had great success with women. I honestly, there's been one or two times it didn't work out, but there's been a lot more guys that have done way worse. And honestly, I think I would go as far as say the best employee I've ever had was a female.
Yeah.
In terms of like what she brought to the table, her eye for detail. I think that like having different perspectives in things is huge, and I think our industry needs a little bit more of that. Like everyone's capable of anything, right?
That's right.
There's opportunity all around us, and like I think stifling others is just like it's super, super silly.
Anytime you have an inclusive workforce, it changes the dynamic of your workforce.
Right.
It makes you a more professional company.
Yeah.
It makes you more inclusive to the public when you're bidding jobs and when you're promoting yourself.
Yeah.
People see what they see out in the landscape, which is a myriad of people, not just one gender type or not just one diversity type.
Right.
They see everybody, because in the world we are a melted pot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It should be that way in our industry as well.
And like it all comes down to results too.
Absolutely.
So when I have clients coming to me saying, "Hey, things have never looked so good," or like there's a gal Sue who worked for me, and everyone was like, always like, "I love Sue," and when she actually had to take a little break from the company, like I was devastated. I think there were clients who were maybe even like more devastated. So shout out to Sue. I hope you're doing well. But no, seriously, like I think that is like the biggest trend that we'll see over the next decade is women in the industry, and what a big part that's going to play in bettering our industry and taking it forward.
Absolutely.
I honestly think that's true. So you look to make the workshops as accessible for everyone, regardless of their finances, and it turns out you actually have a scholarship program.
Yes.
So how important has that been for you?
It's been crucial. A lot of times, again, when women want to change industries, oftentimes we get pigeonholed or sort of stuck into a role, and we want to expand our horizons, hence why we're doing this workshop, to expand your horizons.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's that hard financial jump. So if you're dictated by your paycheck monthly or weekly, oftentimes you don't have that extra little bit of savings to do something a little bit more developed. So a 3-day program is a bit more expensive than, say, a $40 workshop or coming to the GIE for $60.
Right.
So it's an all-inclusive where the food, the lodging, all the equipment, the training, everything's included. You just got to get your body there.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, but we do recognize that it can be a financial hardship. So you can apply for a scholarship, and it's basically a little questionnaire that you fill out. You submit it. As the team, we go through all of the applications, and then they're based on need.
That's awesome. And is that something that you guys are internally able to give back and fund, or do you actually have sponsors that team up and do that with you? Or
Yeah, we actually have both. So we have we have people that sponsor just a scholarship, a full or a partial, and then oftentimes women that come through and had a scholarship in the past, they then pay it forward.
Awesome.
So it's an amazing event where people recognize what they get out of the workshop, and then they share it with other people.
That's huge. That's huge. That says that you're on to something. When you're building a community, by I'm guessing that wasn't necessarily the initial start. It was if we build a community, it's great, but I'm just trying to help people overcome their fears, get into this industry, and now you've blossomed it into this beautiful community. It's got to be pretty humbling.
Thank you. It's very humbling.
Right.
And I'll go places, or I'll see something on social media where someone's on the other side of the world wearing a Climb Like a Girl sweatshirt or t-shirt or whatever, and it's so wonderful. And one day I was actually in the airport, and there was a Climb Like a Girl sticker on the actual jetway, and it just makes my heart bump. It just brings me so much joy.
That was a meant-to-be moment.
Yeah.
You were meant to be on that flight going down that jetway so you could feel that experience, right? Because you could have been on any other jetway in that airport. They could have changed the gate.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
I love stories like that. They give me goosebumps. So if you could give one piece of advice to the women looking to enter the industry, what would it be?
Find a mentor.
100%. That's really good.
I feel like as children, when you go through elementary school and you go through junior high and high school, there's always that one teacher that reaches you in a certain way. They may just say something. They may just share something. They may just give you a little bit of comforting advice. I feel that in arboriculture, if you really want to get into this industry, it's about just talking and networking and building that base of people that you know, and then all of a sudden one person's going to speak to you and then ask if they will mentor you and learn from them. And it may just be a tidbit here and it may be a tidbit there, or they may even invite you into the company to shadow or apprentice. So find a mentor.
Oh my gosh, that is really good advice. I've actually made it a point to actually seek out some of my mentors that are down here and just give them a hug and thank them for existing. Without those people, it's hard to excel in any industry.
Absolutely.
But I feel like especially in the green industry, there's this special camaraderie that you can develop with good mentorship.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing to have people that are kind of more advanced in a certain area of the industry or have a ton of experience, kind of become your cheerleader and cheer you on. That's very empowering and very comforting, right? Kind of like you said, maybe a teacher would be in a tough time growing up, or a time where you're going through some challenges, or just becoming a bigger, better you. So that is awesome. That's really, really, really good advice.
And Mike, if I can share one more thing, I always say surround yourself with people that know more than you. We, as human beings, we can't know everything, and oftentimes there's tidbits of information that we hang on to, and then we may go, to let that information go aside so we can learn more.
Yeah, it's like the saying, if you're the smartest person in a room, you're in the wrong room, right? Unless you're up there teaching, then it's different. But like,
even as a teacher, you can learn.
Yeah, but I was going to say, that's okay in that moment, but then you need to get out of that room, right? Right. That's awesome. Is there anything else that you want to just share? I want to open up the mic. Anything else that you just want to share with our visitors that'll catch us online, or anyone here live in the booth with us?
Yeah, if anybody's interested in the Women's Tree Climbing Workshop, we have a website, womenstreeclimbingworkshop.com. If anybody wants to reach out to us, there's a contact us page.
Awesome.
You can look at photos and all sorts of testimonials from people that have come through. I would say, moreover, as our climate changes in the world, that trees are the most important thing on our planet. You know, there's a great saying: if trees gave us Wi-Fi, people would be planting them everywhere. But instead, they only give us the oxygen we breathe.
Yeah.
We continue to mow them down. We continue to disregard them. They are living creatures, and they're going to far surpass us in age. And it's oftentimes when we just plant that little acorn or that little seedling somewhere, it's going to live long before we've been on this planet. So take the time and actually enjoy your environment and plant more trees.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's such a beautiful, beautiful message. So any other channels that you have, like Instagram or YouTube channel?
Yeah, we're on YouTube for Women's Tree Climbing Workshop. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you for that.
Well, we'll have links in the description for all of that. So please make sure you take the time to reach out, get in touch. This is someone that you want to follow in the industry. I don't think this is the last time that you'll see her, hear from her. I really appreciate you taking the time. You're doing big, big things, and it's just wonderful that you spent the time with us this morning.
Thanks so much for inviting me.
Awesome.
Appreciate that.
Perfect, guys. Stay tuned. We've got a lot coming today, so make sure you follow what we got going on, and we'll catch you guys soon.